Good afternoon. Welcome to October 22 Open Gate Show, analyzing tomorrow's race card, October the 23rd on Saturday. Pure water, pure Pride Jamaican bottled water. Hydrating yourself, it's of utmost importance. Experience the taste of pure water. Remember to wear your mask. Practice social distancing and sanitize your hands. It's very, very important. The Open Gate Show wishes to send a special wish for female apprentice Samantha Fletcher to recover. After the fall, she claimed that she was okay, but apparently things changed. We hope to see her back as soon as possible. I would like to remind punters that the final time for some of the races, they must consider that if there's more moisture in the track for a certain race, you'll have a faster time. Never, ever forget that. 9 races tomorrow. 88 horses were declared. Trainer Jason Acosta leads reigning champion Anthony Nunes by 800,000 approximately, and has horses in 5 races tomorrow, while Anthony Nunes has horses in only 3. The 2020 title, it's the talk of the town, and the racing fraternity awaits the move by the reigning champion trainer Anthony Nunes to defend his title. 9 races tomorrow, as I said. Post time is 11:30 a.m. Before I get to the first race, it's my show, and I do it my way. And I'm just going to project that presently it's the love for the Open Gate Show fans why there's a show now. Presently, it's not, well, I thought it was impossible to have a show, but I have to. Anyway, I won't say more yet. 9 races, 11:30 a.m. post time for the first race. It's named in honor of Orient Express, the 1992 Gold Cup winner. Orient Express, trained by Philip Fiani, Percy Williams, rode this horse and won. 14 entries, 5.5 furlongs or 1,100 meters for 4s and up. Claimant tag 150 to 180,000, as well as nearly about 6 years and up, who have never won 2 races. And it's for horses who have not earned 130,000 since the 23rd of June. Number 1, Original Train, Has Speed, has won 5 races from 57 starts. And he and number 4, Big Man Union, are the win. No, sorry, he could be, I think he's the winningest horse in the race. Original Train, Has Speed. In the latter part of last season, up until the earlier segment of the season, this horse was running for 250,000. Back down here, coming off a short respite, expectations are high from this horse who was recently changed stables. Number 2, Special Prosecutor, another with speed, will get the tongue tie on for the first time, as well as a cigarette also. Both equipments could help prolong his speed, and he ran very well on the 22nd of September, going 5 furlongs round in the first time blinkers and ran third, showing a lot of speed. Papa Albert won that race. Number 4, Bigman Union. Devonay Thomas teams up with trainer Anthony Sobrati. They recently had a win with Samora. As a matter of fact, Devonay Thomas is a stable rider for this table. Bigman Union is another who did okay in the 250 tag and now down to 180. Is expected to be a part of the outcome. Number 5, Nasdaq Princess has won 4 races from 62 starts and was claimed and had only one subsequent run, which was very, very poor. Coming off a layoff, Nasdaq Princess, trained by Fitzgerald Richards, is seen in fairly good condition. Number 7, Money Call, gets the leading rider, Anthony Thomas, on for the combo, the jockey trainer combo of Thomas and Gregor Forsyth. Money Call has been a while, this one hasn't run a good race. But with Anthony Thomas taking this ride, that should be very significant. Number 8, Explosive Charge, has been on Lasix, on and off Lasix for quite some time. We'll have Lasix on again. Ran very well, but well supported at 72 on the 20th of, on the 2nd of October, rather, going 6 furlongs, was up with the leaders and weakened a bit to be third, 4 lengths behind, dare to speak. Twilight time and after breaking slow. Veteran jockey Everton Miller rides Explosive Charge, should be given some consideration. Number 9, Hail Mary. Last time this horse ran was the 27th of September and ran a very good race, running on with this apprentice, Matthew Bennett, on finishing third, 2 1/4 lengths to Cat's Rigger and Marker for Prince. Number 11, The Next Big Thing, was a late run starter on the 22nd of September. Wasn't feeling herself then. Before that, the 25th of August, going 5.5 furlongs round, ran a fair race, finishing second, 2 1/4 lengths to April Spirit. The Next Big Thing has the services of young apprentice Nicholas Hibbert and should be a factor in the top 3. I'm the trainer of The Next Big Thing, and obviously I always hope to win a race with whatever I start. And you know, I have to select this horse hoping for a win. Let's see. So number 11, Next Big Thing. Number 9, Hail Mary. Number 4, Nasdaq Princess. No, sorry, Bigman Union. Number 8, Explosive Charge. Number 5, Nasdaq Princess. Second race, named in honor of the 2006 Gold Cup winner, Just Some Thoughts. This horse was trained by George William, a youthful U.S. importee, versatile sort. Veteran jockey Hubert Gray normally pilots this horse. 7 entries, 1 mile or 600 meters. It's a trails and up optional claiming race, 450,000 to 550. That's the claiming section. Also eligible are native bred 5 and up who have never won 4 races, as well as imported 5 and up who have never won 3 races. Number 1, Star Walking Girl, very consistent and could get a low exotic slot against a recent conqueror. Number 6, Deuce de Oro, who is here in this race. Deuce de Oro betted that one by 5.5 lengths. So Star Walking Girl has a lot to find. was recently claimed, and Anthony Thomas gets the call. Number two, Spider Tradition is stretching out, and it would surprise me if this horse wins. Number three, Summer Sun, very interesting horse. This horse was trained by Alfred Brown from Stephen Todd on the 14th of August. Sorry, on the 18th of September rather. On the 14th of August, Summer Sun came off a hiatus and won easily by 8 lengths, beating Diligent and Killer B. Wasn't too comfortable returning to the winners enclosure. Claimed from that race by Alfred Brown sorry, the race that horse won was when trainer John Wilmot had it. Claimed from that race by Stephen Todd, who raced his horse on the 18th of September and the same tag of 450,000. Looked challenging, but flattened out to be second, 2 lengths behind Coco Channel. Alfred Brown claimed that horse and had this horse back. I realized though that a few days before that race that Stephen Todd had this horse paced on the exercise track on the 5th of September. Could that have been the causative factor? He lost maybe, as when he won, he was never ever on the exercise track. He hasn't beaten much in that race. That race was a suspected race where he won by 8 lengths. Summer Sun, regardless, has to be respected. Number 4, he can dance Slow Gelding, who needs a good pace up front to close into. Number 5, Summer Sun, and number 6, Joseph should be the pace setters. Well, that's if Summer Sun is okay. Because if they allow Joseph to relax on the lead, I don't think he'll be fair catching. Number 6, Joseph won well in good time and last. 7 furlongs in 1:28 and 5th, but as I remind you, there might be more moisture in the track than the normal, and that time is nothing really to prove anything. But Joseph consistently runs 7 furlongs in that time anyway, especially the 30th of April when he won by 15 lengths over that journey. Has speed and could prove tough to overcome, especially, as I said, if Summer Sun doesn't show up. Number 7, Night Light. Last twice he ran for $1 million, and his recent was only 3/4 of a length behind the super fit Lightning McQueen, who finished 30 lengths behind Wilson in that race. He looked a bit fat to me on last, and should strip fitter after that run. This race, he doesn't need the Night Light to shine, but from the shrewd camp, he must be respected. Hey, he ran 8.5 lengths to Universal Boss Sebastian Road Kabir on September 31st, coming off of his fight, when before that he was showing poor form. So that's logical that this horse should be a serious factor. Small field, but could be a tricky one. Top 4, number 7, Night Light. Number 4, He Can Dance. Number 6, Diosa de Oro. Number 2, no, what am I saying, number 2? Number 3, Summer Sun. Number 1, Stall Walking Girl. My preference is the named order I just mentioned. Third race, named order of the 2005 Gold Cup winner, Clockwork. Win Costa, the late Win Costa trained this one. Omar Walker was the regular rider. 8 entries, 6.5 furlongs or 1,300 meters is 4 thrills and up. It's a claimant tag, 250, well, between 200 to 250,000 for horses who have not earned 150,000 since the 23rd of June. Number 1, Kingswood, had to run for 250,000 to show some value. That was on the 7th of August after running twice for $1 million. The 7th of August, this horse went a mile and finished fourth by 5¼ lengths after leading and still keeping on at the furlong marker, but petted out. Race was won by Rider Mob. Isotope was second, Royal Elite was third. Came back the 25th of August, going 6 furlongs, and was installed a 4-5 favourite and finished 6, 11 lengths behind Big Jeans, Radical, Just Say a Word and Company. Can't complain now against these, but it's still a suspect here. And the 3 Smashing One hails from the stable of trainer Ferguson, and that still is banging form. Don't expect this one to win though. Number 4, Pleasant Secret, relatively down from high to low claim, was a 4-5 favourite when trained by Ryan Darby on the 22nd of September, going 6 furlongs. Was up with the leaders and started to go backwards, ended up 7th, 23 lengths behind Conrad Suki, who was disqualified. General Mubarak, Fly Saloon, et al. Wasn't all that comfortable returning to the Whistle enclosure in that September 22 race. And Joseph Durant, who claimed this one from that race, and he normally does well with his new recruits. Number 7, Smooth Criminal, unreliable sort, who has gaps between starts, a lot of gaps during his 30 career starts. Looking a bit better of late, coming off a 2.5-month hiatus. Number 8, Sergeant Baba, looks to be the one, as his recent run needs only to be duplicated. That's the 25th of September, going 7 furlongs, led up to the furlong point and weakened to be third, 2.25 lengths to Divine Lexi and Awesome Aviator after breaking very, very slowly. Has not much to beat here, and could be a good thing. Although these products, the payments, anything can happen. Number 8, though, Sergeant Barber. Number 4, President Secret. Sorry, number 7 rather, Smooth Criminal. Number 4, President Secret. Number 1, Kingswood. Number 3, Smashing One, an outsider for your low exotics. Race 4, named in honor of the 1983 Gold Cup winner, Don Corleone, trained by Life with You. This horse normally, I think Wayne Sinclair and David Northover were regular riders for this one, Carl Brown too. This race goes 6.5 furlongs or 1,200 meters for choosing up. It's a claiming race, 600 to 750,000. 10 starters are expected. Number 1, Another Commander, is stretching out. Number 2, Mirabilis, the winningest horse in this race, as well as the most reliable. For that, he should be on the board. Number 3, Innovator. Darby claimed this horse on the 12th of July, and it's now October 23rd. He raced this horse 3 times and hasn't won a race. Let's see what he can do now. He does very well with claiming horses. Number 4, Bruce Wayne, former allowance horse who was winless last year and just won in a very suspected field on the 11th of September for 450,000. I would say plod on to win by a length from Buckle Luck and Diligent. Can he move from 450,000 to 750,000 claim in his shape and win again? He has back class, and he has to improve on that last one, surely. Number 5, Casual Affair, another Ryan Derby entry here. This horse has speed and could last home only if the top one fails to show. Number 6, Laser Light. Last two were very poor. Number 7, Typical Legend, Paper Light, and is seen in good condition and can be a factor. Number 8, Azaria, claimed for 750,000 and 2 weeks after placed in a $1 million race. That was on the 11th of September, finishing 5 1/4 and 6 to Universal Boss, Sebastian, Ren Kabir, etc. Run wide, and that suggests all isn't well, although didn't get much stable confidence. Is back against a lesser, barring number 9 Fearless Champion. Azaria should be in the top 3. Number 9 Fearless Champion hasn't been himself since that win on the 31st of July. And, what I can say, jumping to 750,000 is a big jump for a horse that has some form. But the significance of finishing 5th, 30 lengths behind 8 1/4 lengths winner Further and Beyond, just under 3 weeks ago, makes this horse the horse to beat. Number 10, XY Soul, comes off a brief respite, looking a different colt. Interesting how he runs tomorrow. Hey, he loves to run fresh. Number 9, Fearless Champion. Number 8, Azaria. Number 2, that's Mirabilis. Number 10, XY Soul. Number 7, Biblical Legend. 5th race, named in honor of Secret, the 1985 Gold Cup winner. This horse was trained by Vincent Edwards, Carl Brown, and Emilio Rodriguez rode this horse, who was only raced twice and remained unbeaten. Carl Brown rode this horse, and in the first time he ran, I think he set a track record, and Emilio Rodriguez rode it thereafter. Really showed talent, and we really regret this horse passing. 8 entries for this race, 5 1/2 furlongs or 1,100 meters. It's made a special weight for databred trios only. Number 1, Prosecco, was loudly whispered on debut last week in that race on the 16th of October, going 5 furlongs straight, ran evenly to be 3.5 lengths to Colorado Ranger and Letters in Gold, who is again in this race, as well as Morse Code. Look green and should do well with that run, especially now with first-time Lasix. Number 2, Letters in Gold, 1 of 3 here for trainer Gary Griffiths and owner Harold Chidi. Seems to do better out the straight, but can do no better tomorrow in a field such as this. Number 4, Whisper and Magic, if she can be presented freshened, or should I say, if those last 2 races didn't take much out of her, she's a very small filly, then she has a chance to win. Number 5, Bang Bang, gets the tongue tie off for the first time in all 7 career starts. This is Gary Griffith's 3rd entry here. Number 7, Morse Code, not sure he can win. But trainer Jason DaCosta barn ain't to be underestimated ever. Number 8, Lady Pujari, could run surprisingly well without getting in the top 2. Number 1, Prosecco. From number 4, Whisper and Magic. Number 2, Letters in Gold. Number 7, Morse Code. Race 6, named in honor of Smasher and Ricochet. Those 2 horses dedicated for the 1982 Gold Cup. Paul Newman trained Smasher, Kenny Mattis trained Ricochet. Smasher, I think, was written by, I'm not sure if it was Wayne Sinclair or Michael Redwood. Ricochet was written by Everton Miller, or I think it was Everton Miller. Not sure though, but anyway. This race has 13 starters. They go 6 furlongs or 12 meters for native bred Frozen Up, who've never won 2 races, as well as imported Frozen Up, who remains a maiden, and our fillies and mare. Well, this race is for fillies and mare alone. Number one, state of emergency, if she can duplicate that good display as on the 28th of June over this very trip of 6 furlongs, finishing second, 5 1/4 lengths to Cape Boy, and add above length behind both those two horses who sandwiched her, went on to better things. She can win, maybe. Number 2, Stepping Fate, comes back of 2.5 months respite, looking in fair shape. Was seen in the dark, but striding, don't know how far, on the 16th of October. That's just last week. That could be, that gallop could be the final one for this horse. And if he can gallop, then he has a chance. Team Sobriety and jockey Devon Thomas teams here. The 3, Nita Dorado, Devon Patterson, rode this horse in all 10 of our last race. He's not on. Paul Francis now rides. Soul Treasure can now do better in this class, now going a furlong longer for a low exotic placing. Number 6, Wife Says So. Devon Patterson takes this one over. Number 3, Nita Dorado. Can't blame him. And Wife Says So, here making her 6 starts of layoffs. In other words, this horse has had 6 layoffs in his 19 career starts. Looking okay on exercise track. Let's see what Wifey says tomorrow. Number 13, Daytona Bell, would have beaten the going places Stevie the Great on the 15th of September over this very trip of 6 furlongs. And at 40-1 with Anthony Thomas, finished second, 1.5 length. If Thomas' whip didn't fall out of his hands, it's obvious that he would have won. She definitely looks the one to beat. So I'm selecting her, number 13, Daytona Bell, from number 6, Wifey Says So. Number 2, That Stepping Fate. Number 1, State of Emergency. Number 4, That's Soul Treasure for the lower rung of your exotic. Race 7, naming honor of the 1996 Gold Cup winner, Mr. Sensational. Another horse trained by Wayne Acosta, Joe Buchanan, did very well with this horse. I think he won the Guinness with this horse. Joe Buchanan. 9 entries, 5 for the straight, or 1,000 meters straight is for native bred trios. Because never won 2 races, as well as imported trios and up who still a maiden. Number 2, Baton Rouge, always well supported. Back off a brief respite without the blinkers for the first time in all his career start. 6th, I should say, and working well. It would surprise me if this horse wins, but I know he will run a very good race. Well, if focused to do so. Number 4, Colin's Affair. This horse is coming off approximately 4.5 months sojourn and training very well. Any horse that runs well on debut should be okay coming off a break. Colin's Affair is almost sure to run a very, very good race and should get into the top 3. Number 6, Maned Cat, won very easily and last. Got a break and is back and could be considered for your low middle order exotic. Number 7, Sudden Flight, loves it straight, but has a tendency to weaken approaching the winning post. Number 8, I've Got Magic, a debutant. The ball the 28th of April will be called by Fast Anna, by Little Miss Richie, by half hours. Breeder Richard Lake, Older Lakes and Farm, one of 2 U.S. bred horse in this race. But this one was was born here in utero, and he's drawn beside another debutant who was being imported in the States. Has got Magic working very well and gets Lasix for his debut run. Should do well in this field. Number 9, Jordan Reigns, born the 17th of February, a big gelding by Muscle, out of Dairy Be Good by Scrimshaw. Breeder, Hillwood Stables, owner, Rome, Omar Walker rides for Ian Passard. This Jordan Reigns Stallion Muscle was sold for over $1 million as a yearling. This was by the Stallions by War Front out of the Artmere Vault. Muscle hasn't produced much precocious offspring since entrance started in 2017. His best is a 3-year-old colt named Hello Hot Rod from a Tisnell mare who won a US 1000 stake race at Aqueduct in New York. He ran 6 times, won 3 out of the 6, and won second. Depository, another offspring, won easily on Tuesday last at Maryland, showing good speed and pace for an easy win. A horse that Muscle produced look alike Jordan Reigns, named Watcha said, has a huge turn of foot, and really won very, very convincingly the last time this horse ran at Kentucky. Miss another nondescript ran 5 times, won 2. Fool Yourself ran 9 times and won 4. Muscle trios at present are doing very well. Previously, his offspring weren't doing much. Scrimshaw started 8 times and won 3. He's from a Stormbird mare out of Secretariat. This horse has purple-bred blood. Jordan Reigns has been burning the back of fast track since this horse started doing extensive work at Wayne DaCosta. This horse was moved from Wayne DaCosta when he was in the hospital, and Ian Passard acquired this horse. Working very well, is expected by some it's thought by some to be the best horse in the island. Let's see. Number 9, Jordan Reigns. From number 8, I've got Magic. Number 4, Curling's Affair. Number 2, that's
Check out KD's Vehicle Headlamp and Restoration. Our headlamps are fine sanded, buffed, and 9H coated with a 2-year guarantee. Price starting at $4,500. Internal restoration and modification starts at $8,000. To make an appointment today, call us at 876-824-6186.
Some horses that is below the class in A2. And, one of the most memorable one was Monty Stitch in that field of, I thought 22 horses were nominated, and there were 22 top-class horses, but the maximum then was 18, I think. Monty Stitch with 140 pounds with Glenford Walker won. What a race that was. This cup was the most expensive trophy at Caymanas Park, by far. When we speak of the Gold Cup, we remembered Kilowatt. Trainer Michael Sergio, who is assisting in Passard. His dad owned Salmon Spray, I think, who won this race. Cleveland Suki was the rider for Kilowatt, who won it 2 or 3 times. Anyway, let's get to the Gold Cup. 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters. And 7 horses were declared for Trilling Up. It's an open allowance race for a mere $1.5 million purse. Now, this is what I'm adjudicating, and I've gotten some flaks just because I protected it. A top-class horse who allows lumps of weight all around and win surely is a great horse. And I'm talking allowing weights to good horses. Quite a while I haven't seen a top race where the top horse of the island is allowed weights instead of sitting level and beating old horses who have no form, and then they are projected as the greatest horse ever. Anyway, so much for that. Number one, Further and Beyond, born the 14th of March at Chestnut Court, bred Blue Pepsi Lodge out of Rumble by Graham Hall, breeder Chad Fiani, son of the great Philip Fiani, and Herman and Donna Wong. Owner R. Prasad, V. Odit, R. Punai, and Elias Loot, the late Elias Loot. It's also written by Christopher Dean, and to the newest trains, 49 kilo is the declared weight. I've never lost a race at this approximate distance the 4 times he ran there. This 3-year-old really a much better horse since his trainer lightens up on his workout, and I can tell you he's showing he is much stronger now in the last furlong, something that we all have noticed at workout as well as in his races. Really looked very well going through his preparations for this race. He'll be tasting 110 speed, sustain 110 speed for the first time, where there ain't no stopping. Paper light though, and that is mean asset. Never ran on a muddy surface, but he's bred for same. I mention a muddy surface because 4 consecutive afternoons, the rain pours. Number 2, Sentient, 5-year-old Chestnut Horse by Strike It While It's Hot out of Lady Gatateo by Footloose, Henry Dragai, ODJP, bred this one, the Success Farm, owns Austrian Nugent, rides for Gary Subrati. Sentient has it all to do to get into the top 2. Number 3, King Arthur, 4-year-old Bay Gelding by Natural Selection of Geish's Art by Pat and Jack, owner, breeder Glenn Lee Robinson, owner Carlton Watson, Leon Walker, the groom, Anthony Thomas rides for Jason Acosta, versatile gelding with lethal when focused. Trainer Jason Acosta ain't one to be taken lightly. He has improved most of his late father's horses. Of note, this is the only horse to have won in the slops. As a matter of fact, he's unbeaten in the slops. Only horse to have won in the slops in this race. Number 4, Mahogany, 4 Chestnut Court by Sensational Sam out of Meteorite by Traditional. Breeder Clovis George Metcalf, CDOD. Owner P. Ellis, H. Pratt, T. Pragnell, and Karen Passard, wife of trainer Ian Passard, Frank Spencer, the groom. Omar Walker rides. Unbeaten in 3 starts this season and seeking to make this 4 consecutive wins. Super talented colt who can compete for the Gold Cup. Ran his worst race in the slops, the only time he experienced that, and that was the 2020 Derby. Mahogany, 57 kilos, is said by some for this race to be a mere formality. Very interesting how much weight he's allowing this changed up 3-year-old in Further and Beyond. Number 6, Jean the Pilot, 5-year-old Bay Horse by Liquidity out of Am Magic by Alicia's. Breeder Wise 95 Limited Rome, the owner. O'Shane Wallace, the groom. The Cardenas ride for Ian Passard. Stretching out a bit and biting off more than he can chew, at least for the top 3 placing. If there is a collapse in the speed, he could get a low spot on the board. Number 6, Calculus. Born the 9th of March, she will be caught by sensational Samuel, Trinket Box by Bernardini. Karma Maharaj, the breeder, Sheffield Maharaj, the owner, Paul Francis Wright from Gil Sobrati. And then Bennett is the groom. Has a lot to find against these. Even though veteran number 1, Further Beyond, last twice they met. Number 7, El Professor, 6-year-old being given by Casual Chico, was the principal by Space Link. Breeder Clinton Roden, owner Joyous Racing, Keith Cornwall, the groom, Jordan Barrett. Rides for Patrick Lynch. Ran the fastest 7.5 furlong final time in this race, 1:31 and 3/5. Only number 1 Further Beyond came near that in 1:31 and 4/5 at the last time Further Beyond raced. As I said, it all depends on the racing surface at the time, how much moisture was in the track. Top 3. Number 1, Further Beyond. Number 3, King Arthur. Number 4, Mahogany. If it rains, my selection, number 3, King Arthur, from number 1, Further Beyond. Number 4, Mahogany. If it is dry, number 4, Mahogany, from number 1, Further Beyond. Number 3, King Arthur. Final race, naming honor of Cadula, 1990 Gold Cup winner. It's also trained by Kenny Mattis. Hubert Bartley was his regular rider. And then earlier this morning, I was speaking with a friend about Hubert Bartley. Very nice guy. Sorry. It's a pity he left the saddle due to weight issues. Incidentally, Cadula was offered to me for sale by the wife of Royal Roden for $20,000. She begged me to buy the horse, to go and look at the horse and buy it. She says Kenny Mattis didn't like the horse. The horse was too straight, blah, blah, blah. She asked me so many times, I didn't go. And, well, the rest is history. Cadula came to be one of the top graded horses in the land for a period of 3 years. So much for that. This race is for about furrows and up who've never won 3 races as native bred horses, and imported furrows and up who have only won 1 races. 12 entries, a mile or 600 meters is the journey. Quite a number of horses here run against each other on October the 2nd. Well, most of the top ones. Number 1, Sweet and Smart, stretching out for the first time, except for that run on the 19th of June when led and weakened to be third, 6 lengths behind Ajita and No Identity. Both horses are here. Broke slow then, ran green, and looking well, his best yet since that last race on the 2nd of October where she finished third, 2 lengths behind High Diplomacy and Colin Blair, who is here once again. Number 3, No Identity, could get a very low exotic slot if focus. Number 4, K-Boy, ran below expectations on last with first time tongue tie, which is off tomorrow. Will be closing fast and could be a danger to all. Number 5, Colbert, last 3 races were surprisingly good, especially the last one when he lost by half a length to High Diplomacy on the 2nd of October in a very fast time of 1:26 and 4/5. Well, actually, that's the time that was clocked for them. Colbert finished closest to High Diplomacy and could have won that race. So, must be a serious factor tomorrow. Number 9, My Time Now, very reliable colt who ain't no pushover when focused. Jason Acosta is the trainer for this one. Number 10, Tomahawk, another Jason Acosta engine. Ran okay with the pace on the 2nd of October, finishing 4th, 2.25 lengths behind High Diplomacy, Colby, and Sweet and Smart. Subsequent outing on the 9th of October, a week after, prompted the pace in that race that still made Billy Bliss won. Santorini was second, Sensity was third, but started to fade from the half mile and ended up 34 and 70. Recently kept coming off a 10-month sojourn, and well, he worked and looked better since that last race, and should be now ready to display a winning run. Number 12, Ajita, well drawn and came off the pace. Well, coming off the pace this time would be a good idea. She gets the Cardenas. I don't expect her to win, but she had a chance of getting on the board. Number 10, though, Tomahawk. From number 1, Sweet and Smart. Number 4, Cape Boy. Number 5, Colin Blair. Number 12, Ajita. Number 9, My Time Now. Good luck with your catch 9. There will be a mandatory payout tomorrow. You'll be racing on Monday during the Open Gate Show, Sunday, October 24th. Tell others to subscribe to the Open Gate Show on YouTube now. Remember, rehydrate yourself with pure Pride Jamaican bottled water, pure water. Experience the taste. I can tell you, you will love it. Take care. Good luck.